Next game is the Broncos and the Bears. The Broncos took this one 31-28. They were down 3 touchdowns late in this game, and they came all the way back. It was just crazy stuff. Two terrible teams fighting to see who the worst was. Russell Wilson, he had a really good game, 21-28, 223 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no picks. He's quietly a really reliable fantasy quarterback, but this was a super easy matchup. Congratulations if you played him today. Jaleel McLaughlin led the way for all rushers after Javonte Williams went down with a hip flexor. McLaughlin had 7 carries for 72 yards, 10.3 yards per carry. Awesome stuff there. I wonder what if Javonte even misses another game because the hip flexor isn't very serious. I wonder how that split is going to be between McLaughlin and Perine, because McLaughlin is clearly the more efficient runner, but we'll just have to see what goes on there. Russell Wilson, 4 carries for 13 yards. Perine had 6 carries for 12, and Javonte had the 2 carries for no yards before he went down. Jeudy led the way for all receivers. He had 3 catches for 52 yards on 5 targets. Marvin Mims just had the 2 catches for 47 on 2 targets. McLaughlin had 3 catches for 32 and a touchdown. And Courtland Sutton had 3 catches for 27 and a touchdown. This is what I think the Broncos receiving room is going to look like the rest of the year. Jeudy was still kind of ramping up from his injury these last couple games. I think he's going to be the number 1 receiver here, and Courtland Sutton being that clear number 2, with Marvin Mims going super up and down because he's going to have limited targets because he has that deep threat role, and Jeudy and Sutton are already established. So I don't think Marvin Mims is like a starter by any means, but if you're desperate for a play, go ahead and throw him in there and just cross your fingers that it's a big week. Because, like I said, it's going to be crazy up and down. Samaje Perine just had the 2 catches for 23 yards. Lil Jordan Humphrey had a catch for 11. Chris Mannertz had a catch for 10. Javonte Williams had 3 catches for 9 before he went down. Nate Atkins had 2 catches for 8. Brandon Johnson had 1 catch for 4. And Adam Trautman, is crazy how hard he fell off after Greg Dulcich went down. He did not haul in his only target. So I think Jeudy is a fringe wide receiver play at this point. Same thing with Sutton. I think Jeudy's still going to emerge a little bit, so I'm going to have him ahead of Sutton in my rankings, but those two are super close. Look out for Javonte Williams' injury, and if he doesn't play next week, I think McLaughlin might be the better play than Perine here. And Russell Wilson, if he's hanging around on your waiver wire, I would suggest adding him because he's quietly being a really good fantasy quarterback this year. For the Bears, Justin Fields had a stellar day. If anybody on your team is playing the Broncos, for the love of God, play them. Justin Fields was 28 of 35, 335 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a pick. Just amazing stuff from him today. Khalil Herbert also had an awesome day. 18 carries for 103 yards. Surprising because it could seem like Roschon Johnson was slowly taking over that role, but in this game, Herbert was by far the RB1. So keep an eye out on that going forward. It might be Herbert's backfield. Fields just had the 4 carries for 25 yards. Tyler Scott ended up getting 2 carries for 19. Roschon Johnson, just the 5 carries for 13 yards. Really disappointing stuff there. Velus Jones had a carry for 10, and Cole Kmet had a carry for 1. DJ Moore had an awesome day. 8 catches, 131 yards, and a touchdown. He could be a sell high here with how well Justin Fields played, but it took a while for Justin Fields to get going last year, so I wonder if this is a sign of things to come, or if we should sell high here because they're playing a bad defense. It could be one of the two. Cole Kmet had 7 catches for 85 yards and 2 touchdowns. Extremely amazing stuff there by Kmet. If you started him at tight end this week, congratulations. Darnell Mooney just had the 4 catches for 51 yards on 4 targets. Chase Claypool was a healthy scratch after that, saying he was not being used right by coach. That was insane that the reporter asked him and he just flat out said no, that the coaches aren't using him right. That's just wild. I totally understand why he was a healthy scratch, and this was their best game offensively that they played all year, and Claypool was on the bench. So I wonder if he's going to get cut or if they're going to keep playing him. I wonder what's going to go on there. Equimini St. Brown just had the 1 catch for 21 yards. Khalil Herbert had 4 catches for 19 yards and a touchdown on 5 targets. Robert Tonyan had 2 catches for 18. Mercedes Lewis had a catch for 8, and Roschon Johnson just the 1 catch for 2 yards. Disappointing stuff from Roschon Johnson today. So DJ Moore, I'm going to say he's a sell high, but it's very possible that this is a sign of things to come because like I said earlier, Fields takes a while to get going. And Khalil Herbert, gosh, it's just, Roschon Johnson was doing really well to start the year, and just out of nowhere, he stunk in this game. I think Herbert is a solid running back play. Like, he's that fringe RB play. Next week, I'm going to have to run the numbers on the matchup, but where he slotted in on the rankings next week is going to be interesting. And Justin Fields, clearly not a drop after this performance. Some people were dropping him last week. If he's on your wire, add him because he has a ton of upside, and it's possible that he keeps this going.